Well, let us officially begin our ceremony for the class of 2022. At this time, I would like to introduce our class of 2022 salutatorian, Lilli Weir. Lilli started at Liberty Prep the day the doors opened, actually probably before the doors opened because her parents are the founders. So she was in from day one. She started Liberty Prep as a first grade student and has been a Patriot for 12 years. In her time here at Liberty Prep, she's been on stage in several theater productions. She's been in athletics on the volleyball team, and she is currently the vice president of the National Honor Society and served as the public relations officer last year. Her favorite class was AP Psychology with Mrs. Hahn, and one of her favorite moments from school was the Washington, D.C. trip in 9th grade. She'll be headed out to Colorado to attend the Summit Semester program through Summit Ministries in August. And it is my pleasure to invite Lilli Weir to the podium to deliver her salutatorian address.
Good morning. As the honor bestowed upon me as salutatorian, I'd like to welcome my fellow classmates, parents, families, staff, alumni, and friends of Liberty Prep to the 2022 commencement ceremony. We are grateful to have you all here as we celebrate surviving the past 12 or 13 delightful years of school. When finding out I was awarded the position of salutatorian, I asked my older sister, Krissa, who is the salutatorian of the class of 2020, to send me her speech. I figured I could reword a few sentences, change the order a little bit, and consider my speech finished. However, when considering typing it into Grammarly.com, as I did with all of my essays, I realized it most likely would have been flagged for plagiarism. And I realized reciting a plagiarized speech may not have been the best way to end my high school career. So then I decided I would buckle down, do some hard work, and ask Google how to write my salutatorian speech. We've all grown up with the following question: what do you want to be when you grow up? We are asked this from a very young age, and I'm still asked this today. The difference is that when I was younger, I always had a clear answer to this question. In preschool, when 3-year-old Lilli was presented with this question, I answered, when I grow up, I want to be a princess. It would be a lot easier if I could still give this answer today. As a kid, your answer usually changed every other week, depending on whether that week you wanted to play doctor, teacher, or astronaut. We had confidence as children when explaining our often unrealistic dream jobs. Very few of us today have a very specific or clear idea of what we want to do or be in the future. I know some of you in the audience haven't figured it out either. Most of us, myself included, often fake it and act like we have it all planned out, when really I can't even decide what type of sandwich I will eat at my graduation party today. Personally, I find great comfort in having control over certain aspects of my life. If you know me, my Google Calendar schedule is something I spend time carefully planning, and I take pride in it. However, one of the most valuable lessons I've been forced to learn through my years of high school is that no matter how much time or thought you put into planning your life after high school, God is the only one who has the ultimate control over what happens. This is something I've wrestled with as teachers, parents, and other adults often put pressure on students to find the ideal career, college, or to construct the perfect plan. I've spent time stressing over trying to figure out everything on my own. Realistically, there is a huge chance that God is going to throw a curveball in my plans. Whether I like it or not, things most likely won't go my way. Although I'd like to have everything figured out, I honestly find great comfort in knowing that my future is not in my hands. I've had to learn how to give up my life to God and allow Him to direct me instead of following what my human flesh wants and desires. I have to humble myself and acknowledge that I'm not always right. And that's okay, because God will take care of me. Something I wish I focused on earlier is to take time to appreciate the present. When you spend your days and weeks planning the next, you will miss out on the blessings of your life today. Matthew 6:34 says, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Isn't that the truth? I want to encourage you today to live focusing on what God is doing in your life right now. To my fellow graduates and those in the audience, as exciting as it is to enter the new seasons of each of our unique lives, don't forget to stop and appreciate what is happening right now. Before we know it, Hadley will be teaching here at Liberty Prep, Lucas will be flying our airplanes, Evan will be saving us all from cybersecurity attacks, and this will all be in the past. 2 Corinthians 5:7 says, "For we live by faith, not by sight." The good news is God's plan for my life is the best plan. I think I can speak on behalf of my fellow graduates when I say that I spent most of my high school years looking towards the future and asking questions along the lines of, what will my future job be? Where will I live and what will my house look like? Who will I marry? How many kids do I want? What do I want to accomplish or add to my bucket list? And so on. All of these things are great things to think about and they do excite me. However, what I've realized is that none of these things are really up to me. Or if I do decide to take control of the outcomes, they will lead me to failure. Sure, I can take specific steps towards my goals for my life, but as I make these decisions, God is also working. He knows what is best for me and will guide me if I allow him to. Isaiah 55:8-9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than yours, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts." Although I may not know exactly what I want to be when I grow up, I am now confident in knowing that God has unique and beautiful plans for each one of us, and I am honored to have been part of this class of 2022 at Liberty Prep. Thank you.